Day, witches. Welcome to the mat and welcome to this online coven. My name is Bethany. I am the Yogi Witch, and today I'm going to be guiding you through a beautiful 25-minute yoga flow to honor and celebrate the autumn equinox. So MABON is one of the kind of big harvest festivals in the Wiccan calendar. It is a time that we say goodbye to summer and we start to welcome it in these darker months. We start to welcome in autumn the idea of resetting, of restoring, the idea of mystery. We go into the darkness and then we come back out when spring comes. This is my time of year. I love autumn, so I am absolutely buzzing to celebrate it with you guys on the mat today. So you can grab anything that you'd like to make your practice a little bit more witchy. Maybe if you work with incense or crystals, journaling, anything like that, you can grab it now. If you'd like some yoga blocks, grab them here. And when you're ready, I will meet you back here just a moment so we can come together as an online coven to celebrate MABON. Okay, my darling, so to begin today's practice, you're going to come to lie all the way flat on the back. Reaching those arms up and overhead, give yourself a beautiful full body stretch. Pointing those fingers, pointing those toes. Before relaxing the arms down by your side, and we're going to flip those palms down today to connect with that earth. As all together we take a beautiful deep inhale through the nose. And on your exhale, sigh it all the way out. If you're working with sage or incense, maybe you choose to light it here. As always in this online community, if you don't have it today, know that I am lighting my sage for all of us, sending this sacred smoke from my mat to yours, clearing and cleansing our energy. Rebalancing and restoring mind, body, and soul. Eyes are closed, starting to connect with our breath. The journey our breath takes as we breathe in through the nose and we exhale slowly all the way out. And as I said, today we're celebrating MABON, we're celebrating the autumn equinox, waving goodbye to summer and starting to welcome in these darker months, a time of mystery, a time of hibernation. So today we're going to work through a really soulful practice, finding a little bit of fire to warm our bodies, warm our souls, to fight away the cold of autumn and winter. As well as opening up the hips and the heart to connect the lines between the root chakra and the heart chakra. So you might choose now to begin to open up these hips by bending the knees, bringing the bottom of the feet to touch and allow these knees to fall open to the side. Maybe give yourself a little wiggle from side to side. Before we inhale once more through the nose and exhale all the way out. And as we lie here in peace and in stillness for a few more moments, we're going to set ourselves an intention. And today we're going to set ourselves an intention in the present moment, as if it's already happened. Maybe I am. I welcome in. I embrace anything at all But repeating this affirmation, this intention 3 times in your mind before sealing it with your breath. The intention that's going to carry you through autumn. Before all together, Coven, we inhale and we exhale. Very gently on your next breath, we're going to bring these knees to touch and straight away allow them to fall over to the right hand side of the mat. But this time we're going to pull this left leg back so the right foot sits just above the left knee. Take your gaze over to the left hand side of our mat. So we're coming into a gorgeous deep stretch for the lower body. Inhale, we gently bring the knees through center. Exhale, switch your twist. Allow the knees to fall over to the left hand side. So this time, left foot sits just on top of that right knee and we float our gaze to the opposite direction. So right, if these hips feel a little bit tense, God, my mat is squeaky. I'm just going to hold it here, 2 more breaths. Retake it 1 more time, either side. Inhale, bring the knees through center. Exhale 1 more time. We twist over to the right hand side. Inhale, move through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Beautiful. We inhale, bring the knees to the center, walk the feet close to one another, and we're going to bring the hands down by our side. Connecting with a little bit of strength within, we're going to inhale to lift the hip bones off the mat, come into your bridge pose, maybe moving on to the tippy toes, maybe find the fingers underneath the body, and pop the chest to the sky, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the fingertips, relax the hips to the mat and hug these knees to the chest. Gently taking a rock from side to side, massaging the base of the spine into the earth beneath you. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to extend the legs to the sky, cross the ankles, give yourself a few rocks forwards and backwards before we gently make our way over those ankles, over those knees, and find our way into a child's pose position straight away today. So bring the big toes to touch, take the knees wide, and we settle the hips all the way down to the heels. Send those fingertips as far forward as possible, press into the hands, so we lift the elbows off the mat. Activating our child's pose right away here, bringing the shoulder blades closer to touch, opening up the collarbone. Keep breathing deeply into the base of the belly, witches, and blocking all those energy channels and blocking any emotions that feel stuck. Maybe you're excited about these darker months coming. Maybe you're a little bit anxious about them. That's okay. Becoming truly aware of your feelings here without any judgment, just coming into them with kindness and compassion. Remembering that we're meeting here as a collective coven to help heal, to help inspire, and to help support one another. We inhale. Beautiful. On your exhale, press the hands to the mat. Roll the body into tabletop position. Tuck the toes under and meet me in downward facing dog. Beginning to pedal out those legs here. Bending one knee, bending another. Nodding the head yes, shaking it no. Any kind of movement here that feels good to you. Before we start to find that fire, start to build our strength, we're going to take 3 rounds of down dog to upward facing dog. So on your inhale, press off the toes, round into the shoulders, moving through plank, and then drop the hips to the mat. Squeeze the heels close together, find upward facing dog. We inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, push the hip bones to the sky, downward facing dog. 2 more times, round into the shoulders, drop the hips, find upward facing dog. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, inhale. Exhale, bend into the knees, sweep the hip bones to the sky. Final time, round into the shoulders, drop those hips, squeeze the heels close as we hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the hip bones to the sky and we bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, sweep the right leg nice and high to the sky before we flex the foot and drop the hips into alignment. Beautiful. It won't go as high as you want it to go, but you find that strength rooting down here. Holding 3, holding 2. On your 1, point the toes, draw right knee over to that right wrist and lower the leg down. Slide back with the left leg and meet me in your pigeon pose. You're welcome to pop a block or a pillow underneath that right hip, but we're going to find our back bend here. So move on to the fingertips, roll the shoulders away from the ears and open up the heart. Keep breathing into the base of the belly here. Remember, these are darker months we're coming into. These are a time of resetting and restoring. So we're only building that fire to find our warmth, to comfort us today. If you'd like to go even further here in your back bend, maybe you begin to sweep those arms up and overhead to find prayer. Holding for 3, holding 2, beautiful, and 1. Hands come back to the mat. First we tuck left toes under, find our strength, lift the leg up and sweep right leg nice and high to the sky. This time bend that knee off to our split dog. Inhale, exhale, draw the knee to the chest and gently step between the thumbs. Keep the back leg up, hands can come to the knees, or you sweep them all the way up to the sky. First, meet me in high lunge. And then with control, we pivot that back foot with the back of the mat. Walk the front foot into the center and forwards. Finding our way into our warrior 2, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. And then we move our head through center, glance back to that left hand and flex the hand here, 1 hand in the past. Move through center, flex the right hand, 1 hand in the future. And then we find our length through the crown of the head, heart resting in the present moment. Hold your warrior 2 for 3. Holding for 2. Beautiful. On your 1, we extend the front leg, hands come to heart center, and we bring the heels in. Bend at the knees and come to goddess pose. Sit low here, root down, find your length. Inhale. Exhale, extend the legs, shuffle the body back into our warrior 2. Before hands frame the front foot and we step that back leg all the way forwards. On our inhale, hands come to the shins, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend the knees, roll the body all the way up to standing, hands come to heart center. And we begin to shift our weight in to that right leg. Lift the left toes off the mat. Beautiful, witches. Option to find the knee and come into your twist. Option to find the toes or the foot here, extend the leg and take your twist. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, And one. Beautiful. Bring the knee to the center, step all the way back. First into high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, find your awkward twist over to the right hand side of your mat. Detoxifying that body here. Keep the hips squared to the top of the mat as we inhale. Exhale, float left hand down to the mat. Pull this right arm all the way to the sky. Before we gently lower that back knee down, walk the right foot to the edge of our mat and explore bound lizard. It doesn't matter if you find the foot here, just roll the shoulder away from the ears, open up the heart. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hand back to the mat. Lift left leg up, step back to plank and take your vinyasa. Bend the elbows, lower all the way down. Inhale, my loves, we find upward facing dog. Exhale, bend the knees, tuck the toes, meet me in downward facing dog. Before we bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, send left leg to the sky, flex the foot and drop that hip into alignment. Really rooting down through those fingers. You've got it. Holding 3. Holding 2. 1, point the toes. Draw the knee all the way over to that left wrist and lower the leg down. Give yourself the space in the hip by sliding back with that right foot. We move on to the fingertips and come into our pigeon pose. Remember, if that hip feels a bit tight, pop a block, pop a pillow underneath. Give yourself the support, but roll the shoulders away from the ears and find length through the crown of the head. Keep sending the breath to the belly. If you want to keep exploring a back bend, maybe you take those arms up and overhead to prayer. Open up the spine for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the hands to the mat, tuck right toes under. Gently find your way back into split dog with as much movement as you like before bending that knee off. Inhale. Yes, exhale, draw the knee to the chest, step between the thumbs. Gently making your way into your high lunge, sending those arms up and overhead. Bend deep into the front knee. Inhale. Exhale, pivot that back foot with the back of the mat. Walk this front foot into the center and forwards as we find our way into warrior 2. Move the head through center, gaze back at the back hand. Flex it here, one hand in the past. Move through center, glance at the left hand in the front and flex it here, one hand in the future. Find length through the crown of the head, heart in the present moment. We hold for 3. Hold 2. On your 1, hands come to heart center. Extend that front leg. First, we bring both feet parallel before bringing the heels in. Sit low, come to goddess pose. Beautiful. Keeping the spine lovely and long. Holding 3. Sit lower for 2. And 1. Shuffle your way with grace back in to warrior 2. Before we windmill the hands down to frame the front foot. Step all the way forwards. Inhale, hands to the shins, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend the knees, roll the body all the way up to standing, vertebrae by vertebrae, before sending the shoulders away from the ears and bring the hands to heart center. Shift your weight over to that left leg. Bend into the right knee and lift the foot off the mat. Stay here, maybe exploring a twist. Or maybe you find the big toes, find the foot and extend the leg. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yes, release right leg. Step into first high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, awkward twist, detoxifying that body, but keep the hips facing towards the top of the mat. And then we bring right hand down to the floor, pull the left arm to the sky, first coming to your twist, before lowering the back knee down, wiggling left foot outside of the mat, and come in to bound lizard pose, opening up the heart for 3, 2, and 1. Yes, to this movement. Release the hand down, step to plank, and take your vinyasa. Inhale, find length in upward facing dog. Exhale, option to rest briefly in child's pose or meet me in downward facing dog, taking those hip bones to the sky and tucking the last rib in. Grabbing a drink of water, giving yourself a pause, journaling, anything that you need here. Remember, it's a beautiful practice to celebrate the autumn equinox, so connect with your practice here. Reminding yourself of the intention that you set, whatever it might be, holding your rest for 5 breaths. Two more breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose. Beautiful. If you're in your child's pose position, you're going to bring yourself into tabletop, meet me in downward facing dog. And once we've found our way to downward facing dog, let's bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, sweep right leg nice and high to the sky before we draw right knee to right wrist, lower the leg once again to the mat. Slide, left leg behind us, bring the fingertips to the mat, find your way into a back bend. Maybe scoot those arms up and overhead, or if you have a mermaid bind in your practice, you bend that back leg, hooking it into the crook of the elbow and find your bind. Breathing here, in through the nose and out through the nose. For 3, for 2, yes, and for 1. With control, if you're in mermaid, release that bind, press the hands to the mat. First, we're going to lift the body up and then immediately step between the thumbs with that right foot. Remember, take as much movement as you'd like. Inhale, arms flow up and overhead to high lunge. Exhale, pivot that back foot with the back of the mat. Roll into warrior 2 and flex those hands, immediately protecting our space. And we're going to make some movement now to find that heat. Inhale, we extend the front leg, hands come to prayer overhead. Exhale, bend back to warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, we inhale. And then exhale, flex the hands, maybe lift that front heel up, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heel down, bring the hands to prayer at the center of your chest and pivot on that back foot. Step straight away into that standing twist by bending into the front knee and lift the back leg all the way up. Either find the knee or find the foot, extending the leg here, holding 5, 4, 3, yes, 2, and 1. Bring the body into the center, step back with the left leg. Inhale, find high lunge. Exhale, find your awkward twist. Before placing left hand to the mat, pull the right arm to the sky. Option to stay here and twist. Option to step back into wild thing by stepping right foot behind the left knee and pull the hip bone to the sky. Holding for 3, holding 2, and 1. Flip your way to plank and take your vinyasa. Inhale, find length. Exhale, hip bone to the sky, bring the big toes to touch. We sweep left leg to the sky, bend the knee, and then bring that knee to the left wrist. Lower the leg down. Coming into your pigeon pose, option to stay on the fingertips. Option to sweep the arms up and overhead. Option to explore your mermaid to the other side by tucking that right foot into the crook of the elbow and find your bind. It's an intense pose, so hold it here for 3, 2, yes, switches, and 1. Release the back leg down, hands come to the mat. First, we lift the body up and then step left foot between the thumbs with as much movement as you like. Sweep those arms up and overhead. Inhale. Exhale, find your way into warrior 2. Flex those hands. Ready to take on movements. Inhale, extend the front legs, arms meet overhead. Exhale, bend into the front knee. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, we inhale. Exhale, bend into that front knee, flex the hands, lift that front heel, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heel down, hands come to heart center as we pivot on the back foot. Embrace every wobble as we step in to that standing twist. Option to find the knee, option to extend the leg. Yes. Inhale, ooh, wobbly. Exhale, step back with that right foot. Sweep the arms to the sky to find our length. And then make your way to awkward twist, pulling those hips to square the top of the mat. And we gaze all the way to those back fingertips, holding 3, 2, 1. Relax, right hand to the mat. Pull the left arm to the sky. Option, stay here. Option, step back in to your wild thing, opening up that heart. Holding 3, 2, 1. Final time, flip your way to vinyasa, lower all the way down. Inhale, find upward dog. Glancing back to one foot. Moving through center, glance back to the other. Before we bend the knees, cross the ankles, and send those legs all the way forward, sliding hips to heel, and roll back into the mat. Hugging these knees nice and close, take your rocks from side to side. Before we hug the left knee close, relax right leg down. On your inhale, we lift the shoulders, lift the head, squeeze the knee close. Exhale to guide left knee across the body, over to the right hand side. Come into your twist. Yes, inhale, move into the center. Before we switch legs, bend right knee to the chest, relax left leg down. Inhale to lift the shoulders, lift the head. Exhale, explore your twist. Inhale, which is we move back into the center. Find the outside of the feet or just underneath the knees to come into our happy baby. One final stretch, pressing that lower spine to the mat. Oh, the storm outside is really starting to pick up. Oh, perfect to film this autumn equinox. With control, we bring the feet to touch. We bring the knees to touch. Option to stay here in Shavasana or option to come into a seated position, whatever feels good to you. As we close this practice off with a few moments of stillness. If you're lying down, then flip those palms back into the earth. If you're in a seated pose, bring one hand to the heart, bring another to the belly. Closing our practice today with some smoke cleansing. As always, knowing that I'm sending this sacred smoke from my mat to yours. Having created magic through our movement as an online coven. Keeping the breath steady. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out. Feeling the warmth that you created in your practice today. That fire in your belly, drawing in the last of the summer heat before we move into these beautiful, darker months. Taking time to get back to ourselves, to rebalance our mind, our body, our soul. Perhaps a time that we connect with our spiritual path. We connect with our heart's desires. We connect with the magic we have within ourselves. And for the final time, you're going to remind yourself of the intention that you set at the beginning of your practice, repeating it 3 times here in the mind before sealing it with your breath. Remember, this intention, this affirmation is here in the present moment. I am safe, I am powerful, I embrace, I release anything at all. And if you'd like to stay longer in your Shavasana, please know that you're welcome to do so. Sending all my love and all my magic from my mat to yours. Thanking you for allowing me to guide you through today's practice. If you're ready to come out, maybe you begin to wiggle the toes, move the fingers, even sweeping those arms up and overhead to give yourself a full body stretch. Bending one knee, bending another into the chest. You allow your body to roll to one side of your mat, keeping the eyes closed and the head heavy as you meet me in a comfortable seated position. Sit bones rooted to the earth beneath you, crown of the head lifted to the heavens above, and heart sitting here in the present moment. And then all together, we're going to bring the hands to prayer at heart center, closing today's energy, closing today's practice with one final breath in through the nose. And sighing all the way out. Bowing low with gratitude to ourselves for the motivation to come here to the mat, for those who joined us as a collective coven for their inspiration and for their support, and as always from me to you, thanking you for allowing me to guide you through today's autumn equinox flow, hoping that this flow helped bring that final heat of summer into the body to help carry you through autumn. I hope it brought you back to the mat and back to how magical you are. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me here today to celebrate the autumn equinox and Mabon. If you are looking for more ways to celebrate, I do have a vlog up on my YouTube channel, 5 ways to celebrate Mabon, and I do have a specialty 1-hour Mabon flow over on my membership channel called the COVEN. You can find out more about it in the link below. But thanking you so much for joining me here today, wishing you a beautiful, a safe and warm autumn equinox, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Blessed be, my loves.